Now, earlier today, Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced that he would be rescinding an Obama-era policy that would keep the federal government from interfering in states that have legalized medical and recreational marijuana. Now, Sessions, he's been a longtime opponent of legalizing marijuana. He said that people that smoke marijuana are not good people, and he even once joked about how he was fine with the Klan until he found out they smoked weed. Classy guy, right? Oh no, I was cool with the Klan. Like, even in a joke, when you put that in a joking context, that still sounds like, it still makes you look like a shitty person. And no doubt, Jeff Sessions is a terrible, shitty person, in my opinion. So, I mean, who even makes that joke? Like, oh, yeah, I used to love the Klan, but then they smoked pot. Like, nobody understands. At least nobody under 50 finds that funny. But I'm sure the people that he hangs out in good old Alabama, well, they find it absolutely hilarious. But anyway, not only that, but of course, during his time in the U.S. Senate and as Attorney General, Sessions has repeatedly compared cannabis to drugs like heroin. Like super, super hard drugs, super addictive drugs like heroin. Just the same. It's just the same. They're just as addictive, and there's just as many deaths. Really? Because we have numbers, we have facts, we have data that completely disproves that 100%. It is laughably false to say that marijuana is exactly the same as heroin. It is just as dangerous as heroin. It is complete and utter nonsense. Now, how many people have died from overdosing on pot? None. It's literally impossible. There are people that have probably tried. Yes, you will feel incredibly paranoid, and I'm sure you'll, just be tripping off your ass. But you cannot smoke enough pot. You cannot realistically smoke enough weed to kill you. Whereas you can overdose, obviously, on heroin. You can overdose on OxyContin. You can overdose on alcohol. You can get so drunk that you end up dying. Alcohol poisoning. Can't do that with marijuana. Can't do that with marijuana. It is absolutely impossible. Now, anyway, after that announcement, Senator Bernie Sanders decided that he would have a few words with our esteemed Attorney General from Alabama. Quote, "No, Attorney General Sessions, marijuana is not the same as heroin." This is Bernie Sanders saying in his Thursday statement, "No one who has seriously studied the issue believes that marijuana should be classified as a Schedule I a drug beside killer drugs like heroin. Quite the contrary. We should allow states the right to move forward towards the decriminalization of marijuana, not reverse the progress that has been made in recent years." So that's Bernie Sanders' statement, of course, coming out strong in favor of decriminalization. Not the same as legalization, but decriminalization, pretty damn good, right? And that would be a major, major step forward. So Bernie Sanders, not quite as progressive as you would say, but still pretty damn progressive, especially compared to Jeff Sessions or any of the Republicans, and especially a lot of the Democrats. Democrats have been very, very slow to embrace the, legalizing medical marijuana and recreational marijuana across the states. Again, there's progressive champions that are doing that in California, in Massachusetts, in many of these other places, but the Democratic Party establishment as a whole, not at all interested, or at least very tepidly interested in actually pushing towards medical marijuana, which is insane because you look at the polling on that, over half the country is in favor of legalizing recreational marijuana. So this is an issue where it's incredibly popular. But then when we're talking about the Democratic and Republican establishment, you also have to look at who's paying them, right? And I'm pretty sure, look, Andrew, I think it was Cuomo, right? I believe it might have been Andrew Cuomo or Michael Cuomo, one of those guys in New York, Bill de Blasio possibly, and I may be getting this wrong, but one of them came out, and it was a few months ago, and he's like, no, we are totally against marijuana legalization, and it turned out, oh, look, you're getting funded by big alcohol. Oh, no wonder you've taken that stance on recreational marijuana. But that's how much impact money has in our politics. And that's also why I think once marijuana actually ends up getting a gigantic lobby, then it's over. They get the money, they grease the politicians, and suddenly weed for everybody. But anyway, now, as far as Sessions goes, I thought you were for states' rights, Jeff. What do you have against states' rights? I mean, are you conservative? Because I thought that was a conservative principle. Don't you believe that the federal government should allow states to do some of their own laws? Was that the big government, big federal government coming in and interfering? But that's exactly what you're doing. You're saying, you know what? We think it's okay that the federal government comes in and interferes. Now, to be fair, look, he's not saying that we're going to definitely interfere. We're just saying, oh, we're going to rescind these Obama-era rules that say that we're not going to interfere. So, hey, man, it's up in the air. Anything goes. Anything goes. We could come after you, states, or we might not. So you better be good and not do marijuana legalization. I think that's the whole point. But look, Sessions, he doesn't believe in states' rights. He's an authoritarian. What he wants is the federal government to be able to go into these states and do whatever the hell they want. Imprison people for smoking a plant to help your buddies in the alcohol industry. That's what he wants to do, despite the fact that he's 100% wrong about marijuana being a dangerous gateway drug akin to heroin. No, heroin's killing people. OxyContin, completely 100% legal pharmaceutical drugs, are killing people. That has led to the opioid epidemic, right? We have an epidemic of people who have been prescribed legal narcotic prescription drugs that have gotten addicted to these narcotic prescription drugs and have transitioned to heroin because they weren't able to go and get more of that prescription drug. And here we have marijuana, which actually can help get people away from doing opiates. But no, we're going to launch a second, we're going to double down, I should say, on another war on marijuana. This is absolutely ridiculous. He does not care about people. No, he's on the side of big alcohol, and he's on the side of ruining people's lives. He doesn't give a damn about freedom or science or facts. Bernie Sanders is right. We do need to allow the states to move towards decriminalization. If the federal government's not going to do it, then the states should be allowed to do it because it is their states' rights to do. So, look, get out of our lives, man. That's what I have. That's the message I have for Jeff Sessions and the Republicans. Get the fuck out of our lives. Actually, stop being a hypocrite and allow states' rights. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.